Hello again, good to see you. Um, this morning I was listening to the radio and there was an interview on with some teachers in England who had given their 14-year-old pupils the chance to vote on what sort of additional lessons they'd like to have. And to the surprise of some, the most popular choice was lessons in life skills. Um, And I thought at first, well, isn't that something the parents should be doing? Maybe I'm getting old and grumpy. But then I thought about it a bit more, and I thought, well, yeah, when I was 14, I would probably have welcomed that as well. How do you live as an adult? How do you get a job? How do you find somewhere to live? How do you plan for the future? The teachers were surprised as well. Like I said, one of them said that when she was that age, all she wanted lessons in was how to be a pop star, which I think is fair enough at 14. They also interviewed some futurists, or was it futurologists, about this experiment. And some of them said, well, it's difficult to know what to teach kids at that age, because by the time they get through college, give it another 7 or 8 years, the world's going to be substantially different. Stretch out to another 30 years from where we are now, and we'll be facing some difficult choices from climate change that maybe we'll deal with between now and then, but I think it unlikely. And also the sorts of jobs that are available and the sorts of skills that are needed. And it made me think, actually, I'm going to go back to the issue of digitisation in the supply chain, because there have been some developments recently that I wanted to talk about. But it also made me think about projects that have been underway now for several years. The European Commission has got one, for instance, looking at digitisation in freight transport. And that's been running a while now. And I'm sure that the technology that's available now is a lot more advanced than it was when they set out on this project. And it seems to me that one of the issues that's holding up the process of digitisation is this feeling that there's something around the corner that's going to make the answer a lot easier, when in fact what's happening on the ground is that people are working on those problems and making the solutions happen. I said there's a couple of things that I've noticed lately. One of them cropped up around about the end of September, I think, when I heard from Den Hartog and Berchi and Hoya, who had got together to look at the issue of data communication and the transmission of information through the tank container supply chain. You might say, well, why are tank containers so special? The issue with tank containers, of course, is that generally speaking, they're unaccompanied, or at least for large parts of their journey, especially if they're going by rail or by sea. So there is nobody there is no driver there to tell you what's going on. And a lot of the telematics advances over the past few years have also been targeted very much at tank containers. Then I heard from Nexiot, which is one of those digitisation companies, if you like, that's done quite a lot of business in this sector. And they were explaining that they had joined the International Tank Container Organisation, ITCO, which at its members' meeting had agreed to form a work group to look at telecommunications and data communication in the tank container sphere. The other one, Berchi and Den Hartog and Hoya, that's been taken up by the European Chemical Transport Association, ECTA, who've got now GCA and Rinnen and somebody else, I forget who it is, to work on this project. Having ECTA on board, I think, is a smart move, because ECTA was very closely involved in the development of the electronic EFTCO cleaning document, the EECD, which went from birth to implementation with in about a year, I guess, roughly. So they have previous and they have experience of how to get these projects from concept to reality. So look forward to hopefully some concrete news from those projects during the course of 2020, and see how industry can develop the solutions it needs to address the problems it's facing today. That's the thought for this week, and look forward to seeing you next week. Don't forget to subscribe, button down there. See you soon. Bye.